Hello and welcome to a show about how 2024 was a year that happened in ways both big and small, and how frankly it was a lot to process. From the triumphant to the truly bizarre, 2024 was a year that kept us all on our toes, refreshing Twitter every 5 minutes and wondering if we'd accidentally stumbled into some kind of fever dream. Spoiler alert, it wasn't a fever dream. Probably, so buckle up as we take a deep dive into the year that was, dissecting the headlines and trying to make sense of it all, or at least failing to do so in an amusing way. Welcome to our rundown of the major events that shaped 2024. From groundbreaking discoveries to unforgettable moments, let's dive in. In 2024, humanity did something remarkable, something truly historic. We set up shop on Mars. That's right, folks, we finally went all in on that whole multiplanetary species thing. Now, you might think this would be a moment of pure celebration, a triumph of human ingenuity and the culmination of decades of research and development. And you'd be right, it was definitely all of those things, but it was also a logistical nightmare that made the Apollo missions look like a weekend camping trip. I mean, have you ever tried shipping flat pack furniture across state lines? Now imagine doing that with an entire colony's worth of life support systems, hydroponic gardens and robot rovers. It was chaos. And the cost? Let's just say Elon Musk had to sell a few more rockets to cover the overruns, but hey, at least we can now say we have a backup planet, just in case this one goes completely off the rails. Of course, there's no guarantee the Mars colony will be any better. I mean, have you seen the pictures? It's basically a bunch of inflatable domes and a whole lot of red dust. Not exactly the tropical paradise the brochures promise. And don't even get me started on the Martian internet. Let's just say that trying to stream the latest season of your favorite show with a 2-hour delay is not exactly my idea of a good time. But still, despite all the challenges, all the setbacks and all the questionable design choices, there's something undeniably inspiring about humans finally reaching another planet. It's a testament to our indomitable spirit, our thirst for exploration, and our willingness to spend ludicrous amounts of money on things that might not even work. Okay, let's talk about the environment, or more specifically the increasingly frantic attempt to stop it from melting, flooding, or generally freaking out. In 2024, world leaders finally got their act together and signed a major climate accord. After years of negotiations, delays, and blatant disregard for scientific consensus, they finally agreed on a plan to reduce carbon emissions. It was a big deal, or at least it was presented as a big deal, with lots of self-congratulatory back-patting and promises of a greener, more sustainable future. But let's be honest, folks, it was probably too little, too late. The accord was a compromise, and like most compromises, it left everyone a little bit unhappy. The activists wanted more drastic action, the corporations wanted less regulation, and the politicians just wanted to get re-elected. So while the accord was a step in the right direction, it was more like a baby step when what we really needed was a giant leap, preferably one that involved less carbon emissions and more investment in renewable energy. But hey, at least we're talking about it, right? That's got to count for something. Now for some good news, or at least potentially good news. In 2024, the world of medicine witnessed a major breakthrough in cancer research. Researchers announced a new treatment that showed incredible promise in clinical trials, offering hope for millions of patients battling this devastating disease. Now, I know what you're thinking. Haven't we heard this before? And you'd be right to be skeptical. The fight against cancer has been marked by countless promising leads, only to be met with disappointment and setbacks. But this time felt different. This time, the science seemed solid, the results were impressive, and the medical community was cautiously optimistic. Of course, it's still early days and more research is needed, but for the first time in a long time, there was a sense of genuine hope in the air. Of course, this being the healthcare industry, the breakthrough treatment came with a hefty price tag, one that would make even the most lavishly insured American gasp in horror. But hey, you can't put a price on hope, right? Or can you? That's something for the philosophers and the insurance companies to debate. Remember the Olympics? That used to be a thing. Every 4 years, the world would come together to watch athletes compete at the highest level, showcasing incredible feats of strength, speed, and agility. Well, In 2024, the Olympics were held in Paris, and for a brief, shining moment, it seemed like the world had forgotten about its problems and was united in its love of sport. Of course, that didn't last long. The opening ceremony was overshadowed by protests over various geopolitical issues. The athletes were subjected to intense scrutiny, both on and off the field, and the threat of COVID-19 loomed large over the entire event. But hey, at least we got to see some cool sports, right? That's what really matters. Remember how we used to worry about robots taking over the world? Well, in 2024, AI did become more integrated into our daily lives, but not in the dystopian way we might have imagined. Sure, we got self-driving cars that still struggled to navigate roundabouts and voice assistants that still couldn't understand our simple requests, but hey, at least they provided us with endless entertainment in the form of viral videos. But for all the hype, AI still felt more like a novelty than a necessity. It was like that gadget you bought online because it looked cool, only to realize you had no real use for it. But hey, at least it wasn't actively trying to kill us, right? Yeah. So there you have it, a whirlwind tour of the year that was 2024. It was a year of highs and lows, of triumphs and setbacks, of moments that made us cheer and moments that made us want to crawl under a rock and wait for the next asteroid to hit. But through it all, one thing remained constant: humanity's remarkable ability to adapt, to innovate, and to find humor in even the most absurd situations. So as we move forward into the great unknown that is 2025 and beyond, let's try to remember the lessons we've learned, the challenges we've overcome, and the importance of never, ever taking ourselves too seriously. These were just some of the incredible events that made 2024 a year to remember. Stay tuned for more updates and insights on the events that shape our world. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe.